Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Minute channel. Today we're gonna be doing a discussion video about something that I think a lot of people are gonna be interested on. I feel like this is gonna be something that I'm sure some Persona fans are interested on particularly. So is Persona fans or are Persona fans gonna be interested on the Shin Megami Tensei series, particularly is Shin Megami Tensei 3 a game for you? So today we're gonna be kind of like this almost like guide and introduction to Shin Megami Tensei 3 particularly, as well as just kind of discussing some of the different functions and mechanics of the game and whether I think this is a good fit for you based on a couple of different criteria and everything. That being said, I'm not telling you what to do or what to play. If you enjoy any game, just try it out and check it out. There's definitely no shame on any of that and everything, but let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. So first of all, Shin Megami Tensei 3, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I really hold it as dearly as I hold games like Persona 3 or Persona 4, which kind of came out on around the same era. That being said, Shin Megami Tensei 3 came out on the PlayStation 2, just like again Persona 3 and Persona 4, but it focused a lot on a very different aspects of RPGs, which I think this is, look, I guess a good way to start here. And I'm not going to talk about the difficulty, I'm not going to talk about a lot of different stuff, but what I really want to mention is this game, it can be a really lonely game. For the majority of the game, it's basically just you. And just kind of to give you a new kind of idea of what the game is about, Nocturne is about the main character, main protagonist, Demi-Fiend, who is just a kid. He's just a guy who is hanging out. He's gonna be meeting up with his friends soon. He gets kidnapped and he gets turned into a demon. Now he just wakes up in the middle of the apocalypse. He needs to find out what's going on, where are his friends, what happened. You know, there's just all these different questions, and the whole entire game purpose is just kind of finding out what's going on, and later on making some decisions as far as what to do with the new world in a post-apocalyptic, or actually not really post-apocalyptic, but in the middle of the apocalypse, and how that's going to change the future of that particular world that they live in. And this game, like I mentioned before, is really lonely because while there is some characters, the characters don't really follow you. Just like this is a really interesting game in that aspect that unlike other Shin Megami Tensei games, even for example Shin Megami Tensei 4, where you do have companions, this game actually just doesn't do any of that. You have your protagonist and he just recruits demons. All of your companions are going to be demons. Sure, some of them do have a conversation when you meet them, but this game doesn't do anything kind of like a social link or like a conversation system where you can talk to your friends or anything like that. It's really just you in a apocalyptic environment, and just kind of the whole game just goes through you kind of just finding out what's going on and everything. So it doesn't focus on characters too much. It focuses on the main protagonist and the antagonist and all these different people that you meet along the way, as well as a lot of the different demons, which is basically what you mean. In this game, you will meet, I'll say, like 95% demons. There is very few humans left, and every human that you have is an interesting interaction, but it's not really in a Persona sense. You know, you're not in the middle of the city just hanging out with your friends, having a good time and doing that kind of stuff, and it doesn't really have activities or anything like that. It's a really focused and centered RPG. It does have a specific storyline they're going for, and that's really much what it focuses on. It does have a combat that is very similar to games like Persona or any of the other Shin Megami Tensei games. So if you're already accustomed or used to that kind of combat, you should be fine. I know a lot of people talk about Nocturne being a really hard game. It really isn't hard. I know some people even consider it the hardest game. It does want you to do one thing which is different from Persona, and that is actually learn the mechanics of the games, not just weaknesses, but buffs, debuffs, managing your stats. It does have a more focused strategic aspect to it that Persona doesn't really have, especially Persona 5, where it gives you a lot of tools and a lot of ways to kind of make the battles easier. This game doesn't really attempt to do that. In fact, every single boss battle interaction that you have from the first one up until the very last one is basically a test of your skills. It really wants to make sure that you understand the mechanics and that you're ready for the next level, where the other characters or the other bosses are going to use the similar mechanics. This game has everything that you are able to do, whether it's buffs, debuffs, weakness attacks, piercing attacks, everything that you do that you think is an edge of an advantage, the enemy can also do the same thing. And Unlike Persona, the game, any enemy, whether it's just a simple chomp that you fight or the final boss, they all use all these different tools, all the different strategics that you normally wouldn't encounter in like a Persona game, where there's pretty much no strategy on their part. They're just just really buff enemies. These characters really do have all the different additional skills that they'll utilize and everything. So this game does focus a lot more on that. I don't feel like you should be intimidated by that. I think that as long as you try to learn the mechanics of the game and you really focus on a lot of stuff, you should be fine. But at the same time, it is focused more on strategy and that kind of gameplay and everything. Now, this is a PlayStation 2 game, so I do ask you, if you go into this game from something like Persona 5, just kind of don't... It's pears and apples here. It's a different kind of game. Sure, Shin Megami Tensei and Persona are in the same branch of Megaten games, but it is a very slightly, not even slightly, it is a very significant difference between the two games, and I don't think like you should go into the game kind of thinking, oh, it's just gonna be Persona apocalyptic or something like that. It is really not like that. It is just its own game. It really focuses on its own thing, and I feel like that's where it really shines, when it's just its own little thing, because this whole storyline is fantastic. It's crazy to me. Again, it's one of my favorite games of all time, so I am particularly very interested. I'm very happy to get a chance to play this game, but I do want to kind of re-emphasize, if you're interested in the Persona games and you kind of want to check this out, don't be afraid. Definitely check it out. Just know the game is very different from the other Persona series, but it doesn't really attempt to do anything like that. Persona and Shin Megami Tensei have always been very different at how they handle themes, tones. Again, like I said, SMT3, for example, is really dark. A lot of the aspects of the game, and it's not just dark in like the themes that they do, because Persona does touch on some really mature themes, but there is a difference between maturity and the tone on the aspects of the questions that the game is trying to ask and how they come up to those answers. It is a very significant different game. Either way, I believe that even as a fan of Persona games, you should definitely check it out. It's definitely a fantastic game. It's, again, I feel like some people are gonna really love this game, or some people are not gonna enjoy this game too much. It just depends on why you play a Persona game. I guess that's kind of like what's gonna be your tipping point, whether this is a good game for you or not. If you play Persona games for the social aspects or anything and not for the gameplay, then this game is not gonna do that for you, because this game focuses particularly on the gameplay. Like, that's its main focus. There's no all these additional activities. There's no these hangouts with friends. None of that is really here. It's not meant to do that, and it doesn't really focus in any way, shape, or form in that kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video here, guys. Let me know in the comments below whether you're gonna be getting this game. Are you excited? This video changed your mind and give you a perspective on this game, of what it does and everything. Thank you so much for watching this. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.